Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, welcome back. I am so excited to have you here today. We're going to talk a little bit about the business side of childcare today. And one of the things that I think really comes to mind is often you hear staff saying, "Why are you giving tours? We're full, we're full. I have 8 kids on my roster or 10 kids on my roster." And they don't really understand what FTE is, why it's important, what it even means. So we're going to dig into that today. You know, as a childcare owner or manager, we know that it's very critical to have a clear understanding of the full-time equivalency, or FTE, and how it relates to filling open spots in your facility. Now, FTE is a term commonly used in the childcare industry to determine the number of full-time employees needed to cover a specific number of children. It can help your childcare staff comprehend FTE and effectively fill open spots. So here are some key points that you need to consider. First of all, educate your staff on the FTE calculation. Start by educating your staff on how FTE is calculated. Explain that FTE is based on the number of hours required to care for each child and the total number of hours a full-time employee typically works. For example, a full-time employee works 40 hours per week, and each child requires 8 hours of care per day, typically 9 if you add in the parent's travel time. Then 5 children would be equal to 1 FTE, depending on the age of the child and the state that you're in. The other consideration that you need to take into place is, although you may have 8 students on a roster, 2 of them only come 2 days a week. That means you have to sell those other 3 days that are available to another family. So a teacher could certainly have 9, 10, or 11 students on an infant roster, but no more than 8 in a day based on the state that you're in. In some states, it's a little different. That FTE also tells me if I have 8 students, I need 2 teachers. As those children start to get picked up, the FTE changes, which is why understanding the parents' schedules is so important to the bottom line. Also, providing training on how to fill open spots. Offer training sessions or workshops to your child care staff to help them understand the importance of filling empty spots promptly. Explain that vacant spots not only impact the financial stability of the center, but also the overall effect and overall quality of child care that can be provided. Teach them the strategies for effectively advertising open spots and conducting interviews or tours, depending on what you call them at your program, with potential families. Now, we definitely cross-train at our program to make sure that there are at least 5 or 6 folks in our program that know how to do an effective tour. You want to implement an effective scheduling system, and by having that in place, it can greatly assist you and your staff at understanding the FTE and filling up those open spots. By utilizing software tools, it can allow you to track the number of hours each child attends and calculate the FTE required. This will also enable you to identify any gaps in staffing and take necessary actions to fill those spots. So, for example, if you have one teacher coming in at 7 and the next teacher coming in at 8:30, but you find by 7:45 you need another teacher in that classroom, you can make that adjustment. On the contrary, you may find that many students have left by 4:45 and your program is open till 5:30. So you make that adjustment to make sure that all of the children are cared for with high quality. The other thing is that when you have empty spots where you have less children on your roster than what you can take, it really affects your financial budget greatly, especially that our profit margins are so small. One student at $10,000 or $12,000 a year Just think about what that could do to your supply budget, or what additional trainings, materials, bonuses you could give if you had that money instead of having that empty space. So this is a great way to help your staff really understand that it isn't to make sure that they're maxed out 24/7, but to make sure that we're using all of our resources effectively to make sure that we have the best program for everyone. Promote open communication and collaboration among your staff members. Encourage them to share information about potential open spots, to give each other some opportunities to brainstorm ideas on how to fill them. Now, that's not really a problem that many people are having now. Most centers are full with a wait list that can go on for days, in most cases, honestly, years. It's really the staffing challenges, and many centers have had to adjust their schedules to meet the needs of families with the staffing that they've had. Think about your program. Did your program used to open at 6:30 or 7, and now it opens at 7 or 7:30? Or did you used to close at 6 or 6:30, and now you're closing at 5 or 5:30? That's the impact of FTE. So although there may be a high demand for childcare vacancies to be filled, because they're being, filled instantly, the staffing isn't there. So you have to have those two things correlate together. Offer incentives to your staff. Motivate your staff to be actively part of the filling up any open spots. This could be in the form of bonuses, rewards, referral program, recognition, anything that you could do that would help successfully fill a certain number of spots within a specific time frame. Also, incentives not only boost morale, but also encourage your staff to be more engaged in the process. And then regularly monitor your FTE requirements for your childcare center, and then make adjustments as necessary. Keep track of the number of children enrolled, their attendance patterns, and any changes you need to make in staffing. By staying proactive and adapting to the evolving demands, you can ensure that open spots are filled promptly and effectively, that staff are covered and are not out of ratio. FTE is really effective in filling up open spots in your childcare center when you use systems that you have in place, whether they're electronic, whether they're paper, whether you tally every hour. Most programs are using a online portal right now, which can quickly pull you a report. By educating your staff and implementing efficient systems, promoting that collaboration, and offering incentives, you can create a supportive environment where everyone is actively involved in maintaining those optimum staffing levels. And remember, a well-staffed center leads to happier children, satisfied parents, and a thriving business. So we hope that this helps you identify some ways that you can help your employees understand the importance of having FTE maintained for the teacher's sake, the children's sake, and your business's sake. So that's it for today. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.